Hi, this is Peggy at Headshots by Peggy, and today on the Headshot, we are going to talk about realistic expectations in your headshot. So, as with most of my videos, this one was inspired by something that one of you said to me. So, I got a phone call and they wanted to book an appointment for headshots, and they said, "Can you guarantee that I will book with your if I get my headshots taken with you?" And I kind of did that weird chuckle laugh thing when you think people are trying to be funny but you don't really get their humor. And then I realized he was serious. And I said, "No, actually, there's only one thing in this entire universe that I can guarantee. And that is, if you were born in a human body, you're going to die." Like, that's it. That's all the guarantees I give, because that's ridiculous to say that any photographer can guarantee that you're going to book if they take your headshot. And I kind of thought it was ridiculous and silly. And then I saw something posted on social media a while later and something else posted on social media. And I thought, oh, maybe people don't really fully understand the purpose of a headshot. So let's just rewind this all the way to the back and start with basic 101. What is the purpose of a headshot? So your headshot is your first impression on a casting director most of the time. But let's go back even further than that. Let's talk about the entire process. Let's first talk about commercial. So first, what happens is a company decides, hey, I need to advertise my company and I want to make a commercial. So they probably hire a advertising company, and that advertising company comes up with a commercial. And then they hire a director, and then they hire the crew, and they have all these people hired, and they get this commercial written, and then they contact a casting director, and they say, okay, I need this person and that person and this character, all for this commercial. So they write up a breakdown. And that breakdown is sent out through the casting profiles, and either you or your agent or your manager is going to submit you for that part. They're like, hey, I could do that. So you submit your headshot to the casting director. Now, you're not the only one submitting a headshot. For a commercial, they say between 3,000 and 6,000 headshots are submitted. That's a huge amount of headshots. The casting director goes through thumbnails on their computer and looks at people and determines, hey, do you think this person fits the type that we're trying to cast, the character that we're trying to cast? And if they do, if they think, oh, wow, that looks like that might work, then they click on your headshot and your headshot gets bigger, and they look at your headshot, and then they go and they look at your resume and they look at your reel. And if they think, hey, this person might be able to do this, then they call you in for an audition. Now, from the 3,000 to 6,000 submissions, maybe 50 or 60 people get an audition, depending on their time slots, depending how they do this. So 50 or 60 actors out of 6,000 are going to get an audition. So boom, that's your first win. If you get an audition, that is awesome. And can you attribute some of that to your headshot? Absolutely. Is it all about your headshot? No. Because if they loved your headshot and they open it up and you have no training on your resume, you have no experience on your resume, you have nothing else, you have no reel for them to see, you have nothing else for them, that even though they loved your headshot, you're probably not going to get an audition. So can I say I can guarantee you an audition? No. Can I say I hope to catch the casting director's eye? Absolutely. That's my job, is to make that headshot pop and catch that casting director's eye so they at least click on it. Okay, now we're still going to go through the story because I want you to completely understand how the process works. So they call in these people for an audition. Now, believe it or not, 10% of the actors that get an audition aren't going to show up. I don't know. Maybe they book something else and they're shooting that day. Maybe they're just not taking it that serious, and I don't know. Because if you get an audition, you're like, that's cool. Like, you're in the 2% of actors that even get an audition. So you should go. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So out of those people that audition, they audition for the casting director, okay? So out of them, then they're going to pull it back, way back from those, whatever, to maybe 20, 30, depending on the size of the role and all the details. Those actors are going to get a callback. Now, that's when normally at a callback, the director is there, the producer is there, the client is there, other people that are involved in the process, in the casting process are there. So the casting director has narrowed it down from 3,000 to 6,000 down to 20 or 30. And now we're getting the clients involved. The clients are saying, all right, now let's see who has this character that, who can do this. So then they're looking at it, and then they normally narrow it down from anywhere from 2 to 4 people. And those are the people that get put on a veil or get pinned. So what that means is, we might use you. Are you available these days? Is there any other conflicts? Make sure that you haven't done another, any conflicts. Like these are the choice people now. And then the client is going to decide who they are going to actually take. So, the casting director does not book you. So all of those of you who think that the casting director has control over who books, you're wrong. The casting director gets you in, narrows you down, and the client's going to book you. So, is your headshot important? Absolutely, your headshot is important. Of course your headshot's important. It's like meeting someone for the first time, looking them in the eye and giving them a firm handshake. It's what's going to get their attention. They're like, oh, what's this person about? I can see this person being that character that I'm trying to hire. I can see this person. So that is what a headshot is. It's the introduction. But once they click on it, then it's about you. Now, I have clients all the time that send me wonderful notes and wonderful messages and wonderful emails and tell me that they booked something, or I had one just recently within the last few months. His wife sent me the most beautiful message ever telling me that my client, her husband, booked a series reoccurring on this series, that it was just the perfect fit for him and it was wonderful. And she's like, he would have never got that without your headshot. And of course it made me feel wonderful and warm and fuzzy, but I am smart enough to know that that's not necessarily true, because he's an amazing actor. He has an amazing reel. He has an amazing resume. He has tons of things going for him. Now, did that headshot possibly help catch that casting director's eye? Absolutely. Just having new headshots gets that algorithm change. Just having new headshots, updated headshots, is going to be a help. And if that headshot is effective and it portrays you in that emotion and in that character that you're trying to, the roles that you're trying to book, absolutely that headshot contributed. But it contributed this much. Now, I would love to take credit for all of my clients that I see on TV and all my wonderful working actors that I had a little bit to do with that. And yes, I probably did, but it was just this much. But it was that first handshake, that first impression, the thing that caught the casting director's eye to make them look deeper into you. So, can I guarantee that you get an audition if you get headshots with me? No. Can I guarantee that you get booked if you get headshots with me? Of course not. That's absolutely ridiculous. And if anyone advertises that you're going to get booked off their headshots, I would run, because that's ridiculous. They clearly don't have a clue how the industry works. So even if you get in good with a casting director, it doesn't mean you're going to get booked, because the client ultimately has the say who they book. So I thought it was really important, if this is the industry that you're working in, that you understand how this industry works. So yes, headshots are absolutely the biggest part of your marketing strategy. I say that all the time, and I stick to it, because it's what's going to catch their eye. But then you got to book it. You got to go to the audition. You've got to have, all your ducks in a row and be able to go and be the amazing actor that you are. And then bottom line, you just got to be lucky, because you may be perfect all the way down to the being on a veil, to being penned, down to the top 2 to 4 people that they're trying to decide on. And then one person walks in and says, you know what, she reminds me of an ex. I don't like her. Or he reminds me of this dude that I worked with once. And that could be it. And you have no control over that at all. But you do have control over updating your headshots, getting amazing headshots, putting amazing content in there with your reel, going to training, having an updated resume that shows that you're acting and you're working and you're sharpening your tools every day. That you have control over. And so for what little part I can help you with, I would absolutely love to. But don't be confused. Nobody can make sure that you book on a headshot. All right, guys, have an amazing week. I will see you back here next week. And make sure that you share, like, and comment on all of these. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to talk about when it comes to headshots. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great week.